In this video, I will demonstrate loading the 5-inch. You'll grab the section that's already in the bed, pull it down to the truck to make the connection with the hose that is flaked out. Before we do that, I want to discuss how we're going to load the hose on the 5-inch itself. In this hose bed, there are 3 sections. In some hose beds, there are 4. It just depends on the width of the bed. So in this one, there's a certain pattern that we follow when we load 5-inch. When we're loading 5-inch, we will take the hose and go all the way back to the bed and then to the front. That is 1 pass. On the sides, we do 2 passes. So on this side, we will go down and back, down and back. On the middle, we do a single pass, down and back. And then on the outside again, it will be 2 passes, down, back, down, back. So it is 2, 1, 2. On hose beds that are wide enough for 4 sections, it will be 2, 1, 1, 2. The 2 outside sections always have 2 passes. When you load the outside sections, you want to stagger them. So there will be a 3 to 4 inch gap between the 2 passes. So you will do 1 short fold and 1 long fold. When we load it, we will show you what we mean by that. On this middle section, you will see that it is pushed back further than these 2 side sections. That is because when this hydrant connector gets put on at the very last step, it will sit in that gap. So we will always leave a gap for the hydrant connector because most engines will have a pin that secures it on the hose bed. We will go over that more once we start to load. Right now, I want to show you how to connect the couplings. The couplings are the Storz couplings. They're the unisex ones, so they are both the same. When we connect the couplings, they have these levers on them, and that is how you will unlock the couplings and undo them. When we put them together, we want them to be next to each other. So I position them like so. The lugs will fit in the gaps, and then we will twist them together. Now that it is locked, I will rock them to make sure it's locked. We always want the 2 levers together and not on opposite sides. It makes it a lot easier to break this type of connection. So the 2 pins are right next to each other. Now that that is connected, we are ready to start loading hose. In this video, we will be showing you how to load the 5-inch. Again, in this bed section, there are 3 sections, the 2 on the outside and the 1 in the middle. The 2 on the outside will have 2 passes and the 1 in the middle will have 1. So now we are going to show you how to do that. The person at the tailboard will hand the person on top the hose, and the person on top, their job is to take the hose to the back of the truck. So I will be laying the hose to the back. When you reach the back, you will communicate with the person at the tailboard and tell them brake. Brake.
Loading hose, coupling.
Coupling. So now we have a coupling. When you get a coupling with the 5-inch, you want to take it to the back of the truck and we will create a Dutchman fold. A Dutchman is where we're going to create a fold in the hose, so when the coupling is pulled out of the truck, it will not flip up and get caught on something or damage the truck. So instead of loading it this way, where you lay the coupling down, if it was to get pulled out in this fashion, it will flip over and flip up. That could get caught on something or potentially damage the truck. So to do a Dutchman, we will bring the hose to the back of the truck, and we do not want to stack couplings. So if there's already a coupling underneath this hose, we want to place it away from that other coupling. So the Dutchman, I will place the coupling right here in the middle. From here, the coupling is set, so it will get pulled off in a straight orientation. Before the person on the tailboard passes me the hose, there is some slack that I need them to pull out. so I'll communicate that to them and tell them to pull slack. They pull the slack out, the line gets straight. Now the coupling is set and we're ready to continue loading. Person at the tailboard will hold the end of the hose as I take it back. Brake. We cross over. So once you do one pass, you'll cross over to the next section. We cross onto here. This pass will be a short fold. So it will be 3 to 4 inches. And now we're on the outside, we will be doing 2 passes. So I come back, brake. Now it will be a long section. Come all the way to the back, brake. Now as the hose goes forward, I cross into the middle section to load onto the middle section. Take the hose back, brake, pull slack, good. Now we cross over to the outside because we do 1 pass on the middle.
Long. Okay.
Now we are reaching the end of the hose.
End coupling.
End coupling. That announces that we've reached the end of the hose, so everyone knows that we are done loading it. Lay the hose down. This middle section, again, is shortened. That way the hydrant connector can sit in there and still be in the hose bed and be easily accessed. If the truck has a pin to secure the connector, then we will use that pin to secure it. Again, there's 2 passes on the outside and 1 on the middle. If it had 4 sections, it would be 2, 1, 1, 2. This one has 3, so it's 2, 1, 2. On the outsides where you do 2 passes, there will be a short fold and a long fold to keep the hose sitting flat. That will be on the outside sections. Use a Dutchman for your couplings so they do not flip up. That is how to load the 5-inch.